Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. All right, so today I have a special guest, and that special guest is my oldest son, who is Dason, and very shortly here he is going to be joining me. I named this video, Why Not Just Give Up? Um, how many of us are going through something right now and it looks completely the opposite of what the Father has promised you? And you've been in it for so long that you're like, shit, I don't want to continue anymore. I'm done. I am seriously done. And you just kind of say to yourself and say to the whole situation, F you and deuces. I'm out. And like, I'm just gonna be real tonight. Like, well, I'm actually real every single night, but you just get to the point where you're just so freaking done. And you're like, what's the point? And I have what drives me in the, you know, to not give up is my two sons. It's my two sons and the crazy love my father has for me. Crazy. And I call it crazy because it's like, why don't you just give up on me? Like, can you not see I have no faith in this at all? My two sons, every single day, you know, they are amazing. They are so amazing. They're very prophetic. Both my boys, my 15-year-old, he's he's very loving. His best friend is his dad, um, but because of certain situations and circumstances, there's a lot of things that have changed. And I have my little boy who's Braden, and he is a straight up pastor. He is exactly like Blake. He's very loving. He's the type of child that I'm always getting compliments on. His teachers always raving about how wonderful he is and how, um, he does things without even asking. Not for the show or not for people to be like, oh, look at me. He's just a natural shepherd. And um, he's going to be an amazing pastor of a church. And so, yes, my two children and Dason, Dason's starting to get his flavor. His flavor of who he is as an individual. And the one thing that I tell both of my boys is that don't give up. As much as it's hard, don't give up. You know, um, remember what you're fighting for. And, I had to kind of tell myself today the exact same advice. Stacy, don't give up. No matter what you see or hear or how it looks like or how it even feels like, don't give up. And I remember in one of the dreams of my two children, um, it was crazy because the father showed him what life would look like if I did not run with this vision, and what life would look like if I did run with this vision, this amazing calling upon my life and upon my families. And I'm talking about, it was horrifying when I heard it. And that's the image that is in my head of, I'm gonna do it for my boys. I'm gonna do it because they told me that it couldn't be done. Against all odds, it couldn't be done. I'm gonna do it for that. And I may not have faith in it at all, but my father has the faith for me to make it happen. And in the past 2 days, I have seen the father move on my friend's behalf, with her house and with her vehicle. And there was no possible way that could have happened. There's no possible way. She has very extremely bad credit, and she got the highest the highest amount on some money. And I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And it literally, again, just, it slapped the religiousness off of me, you know? So, um, so yeah, I definitely depend on the Father's goodness for my life because I can't earn it. And yesterday's message was, it was hard because I was facing something, some accusations that were completely not true. And it's how that person was perceiving it, and they ran with it. And because they have a wrong belief on it, they believed it. And there are many people that do that, myself too. I perceive things wrong because there's a wrong belief about that person. We're, in some form or fashion, we're all kind of there, we're definitely, our behavior and our thinking are not perfect. But that's a different video. Right now, I wanted to focus in on what gives me the ability to keep going. And that ability, that motivation for me is my two children. And so I posted in the main video, or the main picture, a picture of my two children. Dason, he has the gift of songs. He wakes up with different songs in his mind, and it's right on to the T to where, um, maybe what I'm feeling, or maybe what his dad is feeling, going through, and stuff like that. And he just nails it. And it's all Father. It's all Father, because I've seen him grow into such a maturity that I thought, wow, teenagers can actually be like that. But I've also seen a huge realness come out of him. And and I don't have to. And what touched my heart the most was that my children, they don't call God God, or they don't call him Lord, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I've made it so personal that they followed with it, and they start calling him Father. And it's so beautiful because he is their father. Before Blake and I are their parents, they have a father, and they have a father that loves them more than me and Blake put together. And I'm just so glad to be, and so proud and honored to be their mother. Um, like I said, they have such an anointing that has come upon their lives, and not because they're perfect children, by no means. They're not perfect children at all. Um, they just know that the Father is good despite their behavior. And may Blake and I be a reflection of what that looks like to them. And so yeah, I was thinking about the message tonight, and kept looking at the time, and I'm like, Father, I really don't have a message tonight. And I just kind of want, I'm not feeling it, and as the days go by, I just feel like I'm not making a difference out there. And especially when you have people telling you you're not making a difference, you're not reaching anybody, you're not giving anybody hope. I mean, it's just, if my mind is not telling me that, I have people telling me that. And I've I've had to rise above that, in the way of going past their opinion of me numerous of times. And sometimes I can't rise above it. And that's where my two children had come along. They are just so encouraging. They'll give me a dream. My little one, Brayden, he's my big dreamer. Like, he will dream a dream that's about an hour and a half long. I mean, it's crazy, crazy, crazy how detailed the Father gives him, and things that he would not even know. Like, one of them was my favorite movie. Like, how did you know that? And it's because it's like a little love kiss from my father saying it's me. I know every little detail. So for my 9-year-old, well, he started those big dreams when he was 8 years old, and he has continued them. And so the biggest dreams are coming from my now 10-year-old, and my 15-year-old will dream dreams, but they're very, very specific. They're exactly to I want to say modernized, but like straight to the point. And Braden's dreams, it's kind of like you have to cipher, and then it's crazy. It's interesting because we are a family of dreams. And then what's more crazy is that the dreams are like just adding up, and you're seeing things come to pass in those dreams. You're like, oh my gosh, like Father's really talking to my children. Oh my God. It's pretty incredible. So that's what gives me hope. It's my children. And they don't let me. Even if I want to give up, they don't let me. And then I started thinking about, like, what would it look like if I did give up? Like how do I even give up? Like, this reminds me of Peter when Jesus is telling. If you're hearing the background, it's my oldest. He's watching some YouTube channel. He's into Stranger Things, and he's all about that. So anyhow, I just started thinking about, like, what does that life look like with that? How would I go back? When I know so much about your love, Father, how could I go back to trying to fulfill every single commandment? How would I hear messages that are telling people don't lie, don't do this, don't do that? I mean, it would make me so angry that I would probably get up in front of everybody and be like, did you not read your Bible where it says that he fulfilled every single commandment? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why are you trying to get people to go back into the law when the law gives power to sin? Like, why do you do that? Like, it makes me so angry. Makes me so angry that the shepherds now preach so much emphasis on the law when the law was already fulfilled by Jesus. And it just, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Jesus, I'm telling you. So, again, my two children, they always bring the perspective back. Like, Mom, it's not over. Remember the dreams, and remember that Father loves you, and it's up to him to make it come to pass. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. And they keep me going. They freaking keep me going. So I love my boys. I love when they smile, and I see them smile so much here at the apartment. And when us three get together, there's so much hope in the air that we just start cracking up laughing, and I love it. I stinking love it. And I make them their favorite meal, and we just have a ball. We just have a ball, and we encourage one another. And so, yeah, I have my team, and my best friend is freaking incredible, and her husband and her children, they're just all rooting for me, and they're telling me, hey, keep going, keep going, don't lose hope. But the one thing that I was going to tell you about was with Peter and Jesus. Jesus was describing a story that was so intense that people were like scratching their heads and like, oh my gosh, what is he saying? That he's going to that we're supposed to eat his flesh and drink his blood. And like, it was intense. It was a very intense conversation, and everyone's kind of starting to leave and misunderstanding what he's saying. And then he looks at Peter and he's like, are you going to go from me too? And Peter looks at him like, where would I go, Lord? Your words bring eternal life. And that was a very smart answer. Like, in other words, why would I go back to the place of condemnation, to the house of slavery of the law? Why would I go back when you've given me so much freedom to be me and still be loved in it? And I don't even know how to go back. I'm telling you, I really don't. So the only way forward is forward for me. And I want you to know, child of God, that the way forward is forward. And when you get sidetracked, the Father will bring you an encouraging word. He'll bring you a word, maybe just like what you're hearing now with me, and it gives you back your momentum again to go and keep going. And I want you to be encouraged that it's going it's going to be all right. The whole Bob Marley thing, don't worry, it's going to be all right. And I think there's another lyric to it. But my point is, friends, is that there is a reason to live. There is a reason to hope. And that hope will not disappoint you, because the Bible says the love of God is poured upon you. So that's why I put so much emphasis on the love of God. And I seek after that so much, because that's what's getting me going. It's my children, and my children remind me of the love of my Father. So anyways, so YouTubers, my subscribers, and to anybody that is watching, let me introduce to you Mr. Dason Piwa. So come here. So this is Dason. Hopefully you are able to see him. So yeah, he's my he loves Michael Jordan. There's a lot of significance in Jordan, what he wears. The colors that he loves is red, our family colors of our family colors are red and blue. And there's a lot of prophetic words when it comes down to the red and the blue. And so yeah, Dason loves to, as you can tell, he loves being around the camera. But no, he's pretty incredible. We homeschool him, and ever since we homeschooled him, he's been growing so much in the knowledge of Jesus and his grace. And I love how he approaches the Father as Father, and he's so excited to tell me his dreams as well. Like every day I'll tell the boys, did y'all have another dream? And I write them down, like legit. I write them down. It's very important for me. So friends, can I encourage you with your own children, if they have dreams, oh man, write them down. You never know what can come out of their lips whenever you give your children that time of day. They're very special, and give them a voice. That's a very big thing for me. I'm going to end this video here in a minute, but I want to emphasize this a lot. Give them a voice. Let them know that they have the ability to even have a voice. So if they disagree, let them disagree with you. Let them say, you know what, Mom, I just don't understand. I don't get it. Why do I got to do this? Instead of, I used to be the parent like, okay, it's this way and that's it. You're just going to obey. Now I've kind of learned, because of my own experience with the Father, that I'm able to ask questions, and he helps me to understand in a loving way. I approach that with Dason and with Braden, and I let them know, hey, this is the reason why I need you to do your work, because I know that you can do it. I know that you have that potential. I know you have it in you. You're my son who doesn't give up. So, and because I love you, and I don't want to see you fail. And when you give them that ability to feel your love, despite then the demand, go do your homework, but you don't give them the reason why, it becomes a demand, and it just kind of, they forget that you're telling them to do something, but for the reason, because you love them. And that's how I want to raise my children. Am I perfect and do it all the time? No, friends, I mess up. Dason will tell you. I got some shit going on too. I'm not a perfect parent at all, but I want them to know Mom never gave up on us, and Mom, she's a fighter, and she fights for us because she loves us. So I am here with them, and I always let them know that, hey, if you ever need me, we may live apart, but if you ever need me, I'm right here. I'm a phone call away. I don't care if it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, call me, and we'll be on Messenger until you go to bed. If you have a nightmare, I'll be right here. So, friends, love on your children tonight. I know this has hopefully brought you just a little bit of hope, just a bit different insight of find what drives you to keep going. And for me, it's my two children and the love of the Father. That's what drives me, because what I'm going through right now, I'm serious. I would literally just give up. Just give up. But I'm still here. And I'll continue until I see exactly my Father bring to pass what he said he would do, because only he can do it. I cannot. So me and my children, we're going to continue, and it's going to be all right. All right. So thank you, everybody, for seeing my beautiful son, who I love and cherish. And thank you for seeing us again. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. You're amazing. You are beautiful. And if you like this video, share it, like it. And until tomorrow, we'll continue with day 21. See ya.